We also gave them clear commandments regarding their faith. But it was not until knowledge came to them that they differed out of mutual envy. So, after knowledge came to them, means the prophets and the books, the Sharia, the wisdom, one after the other came to them. But in spite of taking advantage of the fact that they have been provided all the guidance, they fell into disputes over who is going to follow who. The Christians and the Jews, they were disputing against each other that who is going to follow who. That it's in the human nature that they want to be followed, they don't want to be the followers. Everyone is trying to come on the top. So this was the this was the dispute between them. The Bani Israel and the Judaism and the followers of Judaism and Christianity, they had this dispute going on again for a very long time, until the Christianity broke away from Judaism. And I have already told you before that Christianity was a sect of Judaism. The Christ or Prophet Isa alayhi salam, was a Jew. He was born to Jew parents. He was born to Jew mother, who was used to worship in the second temple, and he was circumscribed and he used to eat kosher. He himself said in the Bible that I have come towards the lost sheep of Bani Israel. So he came as a reformer with a book of wisdom towards Bani Israel. So how come the people following Prophet Isa broke away from Judaism? It was a wickedness done by the people of that time, who completely changed the shape of Christian principles. And the form the Christianity is now was not what Prophet Isa had given them. So there's a lot of revisions and editing in the books, and a lot of different things have been done in their Sharia. So why did they fight with each other? Because of prejudice, because of stubbornness. No, we will not follow anybody else. You have to follow us. Surely your Lord will judge between them on the day of judgment regarding their differences. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I am going to fix them on the day of judgment. Now we have set your Prophet ﷺ on the clear way of faith. So now after those people have been rejected, the Prophet ﷺ has been made the last prophet till the last day, and he has been given a Sharia along with the wisdom in Quran, which is very very clear, as we have told already, that it is the truth coming with wisdom, and it is free of all confusions and crookedness. So Allah is saying again and again that I have revealed it in Arabic language, so that you have no trouble understanding what is being said. So for us, we are not Arabic people by birth. We do not know the Arabic language, but the Arabs of that time understood the depth and the details of Sharia that have been revealed in the Quran. Even today, every master of all scholars and masters of Arabic language would always suggest that if you want to understand Quran in its complete absolute shape, you have to understand the Arabic language, because it's a very very rich language, and every verse can be understood and can be explained in different ways. So there's one way I am explaining, another person can explain the same verse in a very different way, and they are all going to be the correct ways. So it is the beauty of the Arabic language, the richness of the Arabic language, that Quran was revealed in this language, and it is compulsory and fundamental that if you want to understand the Quran with all its complexities and depth, you learn the Arabic language. So follow it, and do not follow the desires of those who do not know the truth. So these are the people of Mushrikeen Makkah, the people of Makkah. They certainly can be of no benefit to you against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatsoever. Surely the wrongdoers are patrons of each other, whereas Allah is the patron of the righteous. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that these people are coming to you and they want you to compromise on your religion. as we have talked already about how do we compromise on our religion. They, in Surah Kafirun, it was said, they used to, in the context of Surah Kafirun, it has already been discussed that the Mushrikeen Makkah came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they wanted him that he should worship their gods for 1 year, and they will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 1 year. And like he should believe in their gods and they would believe in their gods, and it's a political thing. In politics you give and take, and you find a decision and you put an end to disputes, and let's make a pact and make a compromise and let all the problems come to an end. But what did Prophet Muhammad say to them? Allah told Prophet Muhammad, tell them, Lakum deenukum waliyad-deen. For you is your religion and for me is my religion, and no compromise will be done. We are not going to fragment our religion like the Mushrikeen Makkah were very happy to do. They were happy to divide their religion between Allah and their own so-called gods. And it was not a problem for them, because they believed in the theory that what is due to the priest should be given to the priest, and what is due to the world should be given to the world. But since Islam is a deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it gives not only creed, religion which is due to the priest, but it also gives Sharia principles which you give to the world, you have to apply to the world as well. So you are not only a worshipper and you go to the mosque and where all the Maulvis and scholars and priests are there, but you are also a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you are not in the mosques and when you are not worshipping, you are still a slave, and still you have to abide by the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the rules of Sharia. You have to abide by. You are a Muslim 24/7. It's not like Christianity, in which compromises are being made. Every other year a compromise is being made in the principles of Christianity, and it is changing with the changing times. Islam is the newest of religions, and it already has the capacity, the flexibility to accommodate the changing times. We do not need to change the principles, the usuls of Islam to become compatible with life. No. It was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with flexibility, and that flexibility is called ijtihad. So that we do not need to change the principles of Islam to become compatible with changing modern times. No, it is already a very flexible religion. Surely the wrongdoers are patrons of each other, whereas Allah is the patron of the righteous. The Quran is an insight for humanity, a guide and mercy for people of sure faith. So these things which I have already said in the previous verses, I have tried to explain them. These are eye-openers for people who have yaqeen qalbi, who have conviction of the heart, who actually use the intellectual faculties, who actually have the desire to know. These arguments are enough for them. Or do those who commit evil deeds simply think that we will make them equal in their life and after their death to those who believe and do good? How wrong is their judgment? So here one of the reasons that akhirah is required is that a person who is living a righteous life and is controlling his ego and his desire, and is desiring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with every breath and making compromises, and is turning away from the blessings and temptations of this earth, and is prioritizing Allah and His commands in every step of his life. So he is not going to get, Allah is powerful enough to bless him immensely, and we have seen that there are very good people who are extremely blessed as well. But when you make such the physical laws of this world, they generally, such people are sidelined, and such people do not come in the mainstream and do not generally raise to the top levels. Instead, the nizam, the system, acts against them. Whoever tries to lead a God-conscious life, the nizam tries to go against him and pressurize him and puts him under a lot of trouble, the turbulent times we are living in. So how can it happen that a person who has always prioritized Allah and lived a very difficult life will be equal to a person who has always given in to his desires and compromised all the moral and sharia rules and has never cared about haram and halal? They be equal in this world or in the akhirah or in the eyes of the God. How is that possible? When there is severe persecution going on, even in the heart of an average person it comes that this is wrong, because the souls generally, uh, your nafs, your zamir, the ruh, generally it will tell you the right thing. It will be impartial without prejudice. It will tell you wrong is wrong and right is right. What you are doing is right or wrong, it will tell you. So every person can think that this is extremely wrong and there should be an end to it, and there should be a system which will bring justice, and the persecuted person, especially if he is on the right side, he should be given justice. Every person thinks like that. So how is it possible that a just God who wants akamat deen, establishment on deen on the face of this earth, that every person should get the should get justly whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept for him in his sharia, is not just himself in the akhirah? So the philosophy of the concept of a just God requires that there is an afterlife in which such people who have lived a very righteous life and a very difficult, controlling life they have lived, they should be given their rewards. And the people who were evil and they were torturing and putting a lot of pressure and making life difficult for other people, they should be put to task and they should meet their punishment. So this idea of hereafter gives a person a lot of hope. One of the revert, when it was asked to him that what made you realize that Islam is the true religion, he said the hope. There's a lot of hope in this religion. You always know that there is going to be accountability. You always know that you will get justice, because you believe that there is a hereafter, and a just God will not deny me justice on that day. And that also encourages you to live a very moral life, because you believe that you will be held accountable. So you are scared of all the wrongs which are coming your way, the temptations of this world, and you always choose Allah because you believe in the akhirah when the accountability will be there. So to lead a moral life, you need to believe in the concept of the akhirah. So how wrong is their judgment? For Allah created the heavens and the earth for a purpose, so that every soul may be paid back for what it has committed, and none will be wronged. So the just God concept is coming here, and Allah has created heavens and earth for a purpose. Why did Allah create heavens and earth? Why did Allah always have a hikmah for creating heavens and earth? Earth is the place of test for humans, and humans have been created to worship God. You will say that if we are created to worship God, shouldn't we go and earn a living? No, all the pure and halal things are allowed in Sharia. But moderation. Do not lose focus of your main objective. You cannot compromise on the worship, the namaz, the salah, and go after worldly desires and drives. Even if you go after worldly desires and drives, you will only get what has already been destined and written for you. You will not get more than that. Do you think your own efforts can get you more of this world? No. So you will get only as much has been written for you. So you better focus on the purpose for which you were created. Have you seen, O Prophet ﷺ, those who have taken their own desires as their God? And so Allah left them to stray knowingly, sealed their hearings. So have you seen, O Prophet ﷺ, those who have taken their own desires as their God? And so Allah left them to stray knowingly, sealed their hearing and hearts, and placed a cover on their sight. Who then can guide them after Allah? will you all not then be mindful? So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about a person who has taken his desires as his God. So he's following his desires alone. He's not following, he's made his desires his God. So it is basically in the nature of every human being that he follows some higher power. It has been there since the creation of mankind. Man has always followed some higher power. So as the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam tells that he looked at the sun and he said, "This is my God," and looked at the stars and said, "They are my God." But when they disappeared, he said, "No, I do not believe in a God who shows weakness." And then there were people like the people of Nuh and afterwards who used to believe in the idols. They had created themselves the statues. And then there were people who used to worship fire and animals, cow. Even now they worship cows and monkeys and whatnot. So they have always believed in some kind of superior power to worship. So they have so this always came under the umbrella term of polytheism. So they believed in multiple gods. So the atheism, not believing in any god, is a very modern, recent phenomena. It never happened before in ever in the human history that man just decided not to believe in anything. So how did this happen? It goes back to the Christian history in which the popes used to wage holy wars, the crusades against whoever they were not happy with. So there were multiple crusades. There was not, we only have learned about the crusades which was fought between the Christians and Muslims. But there were many other crusades as well, in which the Catholic Church used to go against the Eastern Orthodox Church or any other kings, or they would just um, wage war on anyone who said no to them. So they wanted complete submission from all of the Christendom. Christendom is the Christian world. So when the Christian kings, they used to come at the command of the Pope to wage war against somebody else, they would always think that we are going on a holy war. We are doing it for the priest. We are doing for the Pope, for the God. So we are allowed to do anything. So while they were moving out for the war, they used to plunder and destroy everything which came in their way. And they were mostly their own lands, Christian lands, which used to come, and they would destroy it and plunder it, and they would not think twice that what kind of justice is this, what kind of behavior is this. They were immersed in so much selfishness that we are going to earn the pleasure of the Pope, and because the Pope is the representative of God, so we are going to earn the pleasure of God. So we are allowed to inflict pain and torture on everything and everyone who comes in our way. So the multiple crusades which happened, it brought a lot of misery in those lands from which the crusade armies used to move out. And that misery made those local people hate the holy wars and the name holy. So instead of hating the Pope and the armies and the kings, they started hating God. So they said that the God does not exist. This is not a just God. How can he inflict so much pain on us? How can a God be alive? A God is a kind God. He should put an end to our sufferings and misery, but this God is not putting an end. So there is basically no God. And the concept and the book named Death of God Philosophy came. That was a book from Philander. And they just started saying that the God has died because of the amount and level of sufferings which the world is seeing. Probably there is no God. God has died now, Subila. And then the psychologists and philosophers, Sigmund Freud, and we know Stephen Hawking and Robert Dawson, and so many others have moved forward. They are big names of atheistic philosophy, and they have come up with many excuses and explanations that how God does not exist anymore. and the sufferings of the world wars added to the fuel. And the Enlightenment, which took place in the 17th century, it was a brainchild of all. It was basically, it had its root in atheism. So, whatever developments and technology and the evolvement of sciences took place, it was subject to, it had its roots in atheism. So that's why the modern science, which is coming from these people, it is challenging the existence of God and the monotheistic religions. And because Christianity has so much editing and false principles, the science has completely shattered their principles and is making fun of Christian beliefs, especially the concept of Trinity. It is subjected to a lot of criticism, that how come a unity can exist around Trinity, and the Catholic Church struggles to explain this concept. So, because as a result, the Christian religion has submitted to the Western philosophy and the Western modern science. It has submitted to it. And when they ask for changes, they ask from a position of authority, and the church relents. And when they relent, what do? They are fragmenting their religion. Exactly what Prophet Muhammad SAW refused to do when Mushrikeen Makkah asked them to do the same thing. So when you do not follow any of the if there are no gods, there is only one God. So when you do not follow that one God, whatever you follow is your desires, whether it is the sun or the cow or the fire. You are following your desires, because there is no divine revelation which says that these are gods, the things you worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no divine evidence, no prophet, no book. There is no logical evidence, rational evidence. There is no nothing that these gods can do or respond to you when you ask them for benefit, law, solution of problems, granting of wishes. They never respond, and they never tell what they have created in the heavens and earth. You cannot give any, the people who believe in them, they can never give any example, because there is no evidence. So this is all speculation. So this is all following your own desires, a part of your imagination, that these are gods. There's no empirical evidence. Modern science asks for empirical evidence, and there's no empirical evidence for these things. So following everything other than the word God, other than the one God, is following your own desires. You can ask, how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about atheism? A person who's following his own desires 1400 years ago, when there was no atheism, there was no existence of atheism at that time. It's a recent phenomenon. So my dears, whether you follow multiple God or you follow no God, basically you are following your own desires. Whatever you feel like following, you start following it. You do not need evidence for that. You do not need people to tell you that. It's just like you felt like it and you do it. It's like animals, they do whatever they feel like doing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Prophet, have you seen those who have taken their own desires as their God? And so Allah left them to stray knowingly, because they did not desire Allah. They did not desire that. It's not that Allah did not give them evidences. Evidences are surrounding us at all times. But if we do not desire to know it, we will not see it. It's like we are dumb, deaf, and blind. Though the evidences are surrounding us, we are not looking at them, we are not hearing them, we are not trying to understand them. So it's our own choice. Sealed their hearing and hearts and placed a cover on their sight. Who can then guide them after Allah? So there does not exist anything other than Allah. So once they have chosen not to take Allah as their refuge, as their guide, So now they are following their own desires, and their desires can take them anywhere. Will you all not then be mindful? Reflect? And they argue there is nothing beyond our worldly life. We die, others are born, and nothing destroys us but the passage of time. Yet they have no knowledge in support of this claim. They only speculate. So, this is the concept of materialism basically, that the only reality of this life is material matter, and all the changes which take place in this universe is because of changes in the physical and chemical properties of matter. The universe came to being and the humans were born because of these properties of matter, and the life is going on because of the physical laws and changing properties of the matter, and life will come to an end, and there is no reason that life can exist again. Same person can be resurrected. So they believe that matter is the only reality, and we believe that the only reality is oneness of Allah. So this was called Dahriyat and in older times as well. And this is materialism and atheism in this time. That we do not believe that anything can, that the only reality is matter, which you can empirically feel with your five senses and you have evidence of. And all the logical rationalism and positivism. Okay, I will not go into these details because they are it will be difficult to understand them, but they always said that if you believe that there is some reality, if you believe in any kind of reality, as we Muslims we believe in the reality that there is one God and there are angels and there is going to be accountability and day of judgment. So all of these things are things of unseen, of ghaib. So these are realities for us, but they objected and they says that we have rational realities. Rational realities, logical realities are those which can be proved with five senses. And of course, ghaib cannot be proven by five senses. But as Muslims, we believe in the unseen. That is a fundamental part of our iman. We are not Muslims, we are out of the circles of Islam if we do not believe in the ghaib, oneness of Allah and angels and the day of Akhirah. So, all this philosophy based on empirical evidence and positivism and relativism, everything is based on atheism and materialism. And that is exactly what Allah is talking about in this ayah. And they argue there is nothing beyond our worldly life. We die, others are born because of the physical properties of matter. And nothing destroys it but the passage of time. With the physical properties of matter, we grow old, the body gives up, and the systems eventually run out of functioning and they die because the machine, like machines and clocks, die. And just like that, human beings die as well. And once they are dead and disintegrated and decayed, they can never come back because their five senses cannot perceive it. So Allah saying that they are saying all these things without knowledge. They are only speculating. No empirical evidence they have. They ask for empirical evidence from us, and we ask, what evidence do you have that it is like that? And they have none. They are just speculating. But because the media is under the control of Western powers, that's why these things do not come into light, and they are hidden, and they are kept hidden. I would say they are kept hidden and they are never coming out. And especially the things we have seen, how the media is manipulated and controlled, we have seen in the last 2 years how it was done, and now it's an eye opener for everyone. That media is controlled. They will only show you what the powers of that time want you to see. They want to control the narratives. That's why they show you things which they want you to see. So after that, we should be very clear that it's not actually the edge the modern sciences have, but it's just the control they have on the media and all kinds of narrative control they have, that we think that the modern science and the Western worldview is better than the Islamic worldview. And whenever our clear revelations are recited to them, their only argument is to say, bring our forefathers back if what you say is true. Say, O Prophet ﷺ, it is Allah who gives you life, then causes you to die, then will gather you all on the day of judgment, about which there is no doubt, but most people do not know. So Prophet ﷺ says to them that it's not me who is going to bring them to life. It is Allah who is going to bring them to life, and it's only in His power that the humans are brought back to life, and they will be brought back to life when it is time. And time is decided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody has the knowledge of unseen. To Allah alone belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. On the day the hour will be established, the people of falsehood will then be in total loss. Sorry, it is saying that these people who are saying, okay, bring the dead back. If you want us to believe in the afterlife and resurrection and accountability and punishment and reward, then bring them back. But he says that only Allah can do it. And when that day comes, and that day will come, all the people who used to follow the falsehood, whatever was followed other than following oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is falsehood. So whoever were the followers of falsehood, they will be in total loss, because the curtain of materialism will remove. The world, along with all its temptations, will disappear, and we know there is only going to be one floor ground. Will Allah will spread it, the ground of Arafah, and everybody will be brought back alive for accountability. And that day, when all the temptations will disappear, then all the arguments and all the excuses and all the arrogance of these people will also disappear, because now they have seen the reality. Ainul Yaqeen will be there. But since the time of test is over, so nothing will be accepted from them. So they are going to be in total loss on that day. And you will see every faith community on their knees. When they will see the truth, they will fall down on their knees in submission to the only truth. The only truth is oneness of Allah. They will fall down on their knees, and they will be given their books of deeds in their hands. Every community will be summoned to its record of deeds. They all will be told, this day you will be rewarded for what you used to do. All the choices you made, you are going to be held accountable. This record of ours speak the truth about you. As already it has been mentioned, then Karaman Katibin are there, and they are recording a black and white proof, a written proof, documentation is there, video evidence is there. Your own hands and feet and lips and eyes are going to testify against you, in addition to the absolute knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, in addition to that, He will have black and white documentary proof as well. The record of ours speaks the truth about you. Indeed, we always had your deeds recorded by the angels. As for those who believed and did good, their Lord will admit them into His mercy. His mercy is heaven. That is truly the absolute triumph. So the criteria of triumph has been set by the Quran. And the criteria of triumph and success is to be able to escape the hellfire and enter Jannah. So it is not entering Jannah alone. It is to escape the hellfire and enter Jannah. And as for those who disbelieved, they will be told, were my revelations not recited to you? Yet you acted arrogantly and were wicked people. They will be told at that day that we showed you signs, and we sent prophets, and we sent books, but you were not interested. They were all around you, children were being born of you, but you never paid heed. And whenever it was said to you, surely Allah's promise of judgment is true and there is no doubt about the hour, you said mockingly, we do not know what the hour is. We think it is no more than speculation, and we are not convinced that it will ever come. So they will say that yes, sometimes we did think that what is going on around us is not true. It is like it is wrong, like the persecution and the wrong is getting the upper hand and the correct, the truth is getting pressurized and pushed away. Whatever is happening in Gaza right now, the Gazans are being asked to leave Gaza and evacuate Gaza, or they will be annihilated. To all sane minds, this cannot be the right thing to do. It is not right, but it is being done. So they do have that kind of thinking that as this cannot be true, but then they get involved in the worldly affairs and get distracted and forget about it. And they just think that we don't think that this is all speculation that this is going to happen. However, they understand that there should be some kind of justice. This cannot go on like this. And the evil consequences of their deeds will unfold before them, and they will be overwhelmed by what they used to ridicule. So when the haqq will make itself, will expose itself, at that time they will be overwhelmed, and they will be surrounded by it, by what they used to ridicule. They used to mock it, and now they will be surrounded by it. It will be said, "This day we will neglect you as you neglected the meeting of this day of yours. Your home will be the fire, and you will have no helpers." The people who said that they will help you on this day, you will not, they will not come to any help. They are very worried about their own ends. So how can they think about helping you? This is because you made a mockery of Allah's revelations and were deluded by your worldly life. Deluded by your worldly life, it distracted you from your purpose in life. You never thought, why was I born? What am I supposed to do? Where am I going? You never thought about these questions because the temptations of this world distracted you and kept you so much busy that you had no time to answer these fundamental questions and focus on your own, focus on what you were supposed to do when you were born, why Allah created you. So you had no time to focus on it. So from that day on, they will not be taken out of the fire, nor will they be allowed to appease their Lord. So all praise is for Allah, Lord of the heavens and Lord of the earth, Lord of all worlds. So it is Allah who is the creator, who is the Rabb, who is the master of the heavens and the earth and everything else. To him belongs all majesty in the heavens and the earth, and he is the Almighty, all wise. Beshak. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa